Okay, this video is about how to configure your email in Outlook Express, and we're going to do both POP3 and IMAP formats. Okay, and the difference is POP3, that actually downloads the email onto your computer, and you have a copy physically on your computer. And with IMAP, you're actually just viewing your email on the mail server, which is a mail server is like a, it's like a type of computer that actually is in some building somewhere that you're accessing through the internet. So there's pros and cons to each one. The pros to POP3 is you get to keep all of your email. So let's say some of your email, let's say your email box is only 25 megabytes in size, then you can keep on deleting your email every so often, and that way you're able to keep, years and years of email. But if you have a very large email account, that, if you have a lot of capacity like Gmail, then there's no need to do that. And IMAP would probably be better, because with IMAP you're just viewing it. And let's say you have 3 computers or 2 computers, like a laptop and a desktop. When you use IMAP and you're looking at your email, the other computer will show that you've already read the email. Let's say on computer A you read your email. On computer B it'll show that you've already read that email that you read on computer A. And also, if you send an email via computer A, then it'll still appear on computer B as sent. I mean, that's always the case if you're using webmail, but we're talking about if you're using an email client, meaning email software that's actually on your computer, and you're not going to a website for your email, like Outlook Express is the client. Okay, so those are the pros and cons of POP3 and IMAP. So what we're going to do is right now is we're going to configure POP3, and we're going to go into Outlook Express right now. Start Outlook Express. You can also go to Start Programs Outlook Express. Go to Tools, Accounts, go to Add, Mail, and type in the display name, whatever you want them to see when they receive an email from you. And this is the actual email address. This is something I just made up. I don't use. Okay. And then you'll have an incoming mail server and outgoing. First you want to save it. We're going to do POP3. There's also IMAP and then HTTP. That you don't really need that. That's for Hotmail. So POP3 and IMAP. POP3. You run a CC, and then outgoing. I actually have to use my Gmail. I have to use Gmail because I have a fair amount of email addresses, and you can only configure 10 email addresses in AT&T. And you have to authorize each one in order for you to send. And this one I just made is not authorized. So I'm going to use Gmail's outgoing mail server. You get both of these from the email service that you're using. And many times you're going to have to use your ISP, meaning the people that you pay for your internet connection. You're going to have to use their outgoing mail server settings to send email. For AT&T, you definitely do. They don't allow you to use third-party email or outgoing mail servers. Okay, click next. Aside from Gmail, they allow Gmail for whatever reason. Okay, so vids. Usually this is either just the the account name is usually just the first part before the @ and the email address, or the entire email address. In my case, it's the entire email address. Type in the password. Mother. Okay. All right. So password, then click next, finish, and then you can either click this and properties or just double click. And I usually change this just so I know exactly which email address we're talking about. It's just a reference for you. It's not a setting at all. Then we're going to go to servers. We're going to double check everything. That's the correct incoming, and that's the correct outgoing. Account name, password. And then this Gmail actually requires authentication, so we're going to click on that. And also settings, I have to put in my Gmail settings. And let's see. Okay, click OK. And we can go to advanced. And what we can do, Gmail you don't need to, but this is actually not Gmail, this is my personal email. So I'm just going to click on leave a copy on the mail server, so that way we can also do IMAP as well with the test emails that we send. So leave a copy, and you can even, so basically what you want to do is, if let's say you have a POP email type of email, that you can retrieve with Outlook Express. You might also have a webmail feature with your email where you can access it through a website, and so if you're not at your computer, you can still access your email from anywhere. And if you want to keep your old email on there, and if you have enough space, if you only have 25 megabytes, you're not going to be able to do this because that fills up pretty quickly. But if you have like a lot, like Gmail, you have 6.5 gigabytes of space for your email. You can certainly do this. However, Gmail, you don't need to do this because Gmail does it automatically if you tell it to. But what you can do is you can leave a copy on the server so that even when you retrieve the email, a copy of the email, a copy of all the emails will still be on the server. So when you access it from somewhere else through a website, whatever, it'll still be there. And you can even tell it to, if you want to make sure both of your computers, like let's say you have a laptop and a desktop, if you want to make sure that both of them get your email, then you can say remove after, let's say 10 days or 20 days, however long you think on average it takes for you to use both computers. Okay, I believe that is it. Let's just double check everything. Oh no, Gmail actually requires, I'm going to go over to the settings over here. This is Gmail settings. Username and then pop.gmail.com, smtp.gmail.com. And then for the advanced, they require SSL, a secure connection, and port 6. We have to change it to port 465 for outgoing. Incoming you don't have to worry about, but if you do Gmail, you click this and this automatically changes from 110 to 995. Okay, let's see. And then Gmail also requires authentication on the servers tab. So yeah, the advanced tab, which is what we just were up here before, and then on the server tab down here. But of course, I'm not using Gmail. I'm just using their outgoing mail server. So outgoing, we're going to change this to 465. Let's change it to 465. And then incoming, I'll leave the same because we're using, and then leave a copy in the server. I'm going to do that. Okay. And I'm just going to copy this and then go into general and then put it in here so I know which one I'm talking about. Okay, click OK. Click OK. And then we're going to send a test email. So we're going to send an email to the email I just created. However, I didn't actually just create the email. I actually had to configure my domain, emailer.cc. I had to configure it for an email address. This is just configuring the Outlook, so it's not like I just created that account. You can't create an account with Outlook Express. You just configure Outlook Express to retrieve it after it's been created. But I'm just configuring, I guess you should say. Okay, so let's say testing the time, so we know which one it is. Gibberish. Okay, sure. Let's see. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Delete. Start again. Click send. Still not going. Oh boy, okay. Alright, no, I think, did I? Okay, I forgot to do this. Okay, with Gmail, or with, like, let's say you have AT&T, you also have to do this. You have to configure your, with the when you have authentication, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't have to click on settings, and then it's not the authentication is not the same username and password as you see here. It's not the same account name and password here. It's actually inside settings, log on, then I have to put in my Gmail information. Another email address you do not use. Okay, now we'll go back, send. Okay, now we're just sent. So it's sent successfully. Might not have typed this in. Okay, I had put in the wrong password.